Good morning. How is everyone? As we continue to come in and take our seats, we hope that everyone is doing well as we join together for this great celebration. I have been charged to give a amazing greeting, so I'm gonna ask for my round of applause in advance, so you all can go ahead and give me a round of applause. All right. My name is Dr. LaShawn Lovelace. I have the pleasure of serving as the Chief Inclusive Excellence and Belonging Officer here at Forsyth Tech. And I want to welcome and greet you to the Forsyth Tech Veterans Day celebration. It's a pleasure to have you join us as we honor and show appreciation for the brave men and women who have served and currently serving in the armed forces. As a son of a U.S. Army veteran, I recognize the sacrifices, dedication, and invaluable contributions all who have served bring to our nation's security and well-being. Today, we come together to celebrate the service and sacrifices of our veterans, express our gratitude, and reflect on the importance of supporting and caring for those who have served. Our enriching celebration is planned to pay tribute to our veterans and create a sense of community and camaraderie. This event is an opportunity to connect with veterans, learn from their experiences, and strengthen the bonds of our community. So please join us in showing our veterans the respect and appreciation they deserve today. Let's make this celebration a memorable and meaningful experience for all in attendance. I would be remiss if I didn't offer a special thanks to our Veterans Resource Office and others who have helped make this event a success. So give them a round of applause. Again, we thank you for being here, and let's honor our veterans with pride and gratitude. Now I will turn it over for the presentation and posting of colors to the Reagan High School Junior ROTC.
Colors, stand hut. Here, colors. Forward. March. March. Colors.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Southwest Elementary School. Good morning, administrators, faculty, staff, special guests, and most importantly, our veterans. Welcome to the 2023 Veterans Recognition Celebration. I am Daniel Colombo Verni, a horticultural technology student veteran and the 2023-2024 Student Veteran Association President, and I will be presiding today's celebration. This event is in honor of and celebrates our veterans. We recognize you for your levels of professionalism, service, leadership, dedication, and the commitment to excellence you have demonstrated for our great country. John F. Kennedy once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." We truly believe that each of you has lived by your words and love for your country. And for this, we say thank you. Please join me in celebrating our veterans today with a round of applause. Now, I would like to welcome to the podium Forsyth Technical Community College President, Dr. Janet Spriggs, for the welcome. Let's welcome her at this time.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Forsyth Tech. As I was sitting here this morning listening to Sean sing the national anthem, I've heard her sing it several times now, and every time she sings, it just hits me in an even more special spot. She is so talented, and that rendition of our national anthem gives me goosebumps that I'll have for the rest of the day. So thank you to Sean. And then I got to see our children from Southwest Elementary lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'm almost in tears. You guys are amazing. That was beautiful. And thank you so much for being here, the next generation of Americans. And I hope many of you are future trailblazers with us here at Forsyth Tech, so don't forget about us. We're recruiting always. So I also was thinking about the post that I will make on my social media tomorrow. I do it every Veterans Day, and then as many other times throughout the year as I can find an occasion to celebrate my parents. My father was a veteran of the Korean War, and I remember the stories, and I have all of the pictures from his time when he was in Germany before the war, and then later when he was in Korea. And one of my very most precious photos is of him when he was in boot camp. And it's a photo of my much younger, so handsome father in his uniform. And it just brings back such special memories of being a little girl and loving and respecting my dad more than anyone else in the world. He's been gone now since 1999. But I will always remember the stories of his service to our country in a very difficult time. And I'm just so grateful for him, but also so grateful for all of the veterans who are here today. Today, as we gather before Veterans Day, which is Saturday, right? We're off work tomorrow to celebrate, but Saturday is actually Veterans Day. We are not just here to mark a day on a calendar, and I hope you've already seen that. We're here celebrating the indomitable spirit, valor, and sacrifices of our nation's veterans. To the veterans here today, please know that we know how your service has paved the path to freedom and security on which we tread daily, and for that, we are eternally grateful. This past year, we have continued to invest in the success of our on-campus veteran community by revamping our Veterans Resource Center. It stands as a testament to Forsyth Tech's commitment to support our veterans in their educational pursuits and to ensure that you have all of the resources that you need to thrive in your civilian life. In the words of George Washington, the willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional to how they receive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their nation. This quote, I think, serves as a reminder for all of us, ensuring that our veterans feel appreciated, respected, and supported. It's not just our duty, it's the foundation of a nation that respects and honors the sacrifices of its military. Today's celebration is not just about remembering the past, but also about looking forward to the bright futures that our veterans can and will build with the support of places like Forsyth Tech and with the people like all of you who are here today to honor our vets. To all of our veterans, once again, thank you for your service, and to everyone who supports our very special and deserving community of veterans on campus and beyond, thank you for recognizing and acting upon the needs of our heroes. Let's continue to work hand in hand, ensuring that every veteran feels valued and supported, not just today, but every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Spritz. This time, we will have a military melody video presentation. We ask that all veterans or active duty servicemen and women please stand and be recognized when your branch of military is presented.
Through howling gale and shot and
time, will you stand and join me for a moment of silence in remembrance of all our veterans we have lost? Thank you. You may be seated. Now, I would like to welcome to the podium Southwest Elementary for a special poem.
V is for very committed to your job, very caring, and very brave.
E is for even in the darkest moments, they will be there.
D is for tears wet for brothers lost and arms lost, endless memories of the battle fought, respect and earned, those sacrifice of the courage, appreciation for to our country's call.
E is for
Even through toughest battles fought, you will be there.
R is for
Ready to serve, defend, fight, or protect at any moment. We are so thankful, and there aren't enough words to say how thankful we are for your hard work.
A is for
always there for our country.
N is for
Never gonna give up, even though it seems impossible. We can't even describe how thankful we are for you.
S is for
Always being supportive to this country and people.
We thank you for your service.
Thank you, Southwest Elementary, for such inspirational poem. At this time, please join us in welcoming Nikkei Roach, a dynamic speaker with over 25 years of outstanding achievements in business coaching, wellness, and entrepreneurship. Nikkei's incredible journey is a true testament to his faith, perseverance, and unwavering dedication. A devoted husband and father of three, Nikkei humbly attributes his success to his steadfast faith in God. His strong spiritual foundation has not only guided his personal life, but also his remarkable career. Nikkei has helped thousands of business clients achieve their goals, coach top wellness business owners, and played a pivotal role in launching numerous wellness and consumer product companies. As the author of the influential book, 52 Ways to Fund Your Home Business, Nikkei faith-driven principles have empowered countless entrepreneurs to overcome obstacles and turn their dreams into reality. He has co-founded a software promotion company that aligns with his mission to help entrepreneurs quickly and effectively convey their message to marketplace. Nikkei also a Gulf War combat veteran, driven by his profound commitment to serving veterans from all walks of life. He is the co-founder of the Gulf War Era Veterans Incorporated, a testament to his dedication to helping those who have served our country. Nikkei's story today will inspire you with the power of faith, entrepreneurship, and service. Let's welcome him at this time.
Live up to that. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm going to try not to bore you to tears, but I would be remiss if I didn't thank the Creator for allowing me to be here to speak with you today and allow my ancestors to grace me with the shoulders which I stand on. I also wanted to thank, before she left, Dr. Briggs, who she and I spend many a times on Netflix, not on Netflix, on LinkedIn. And then the Honorable Dee Dee Adams, who we've had crossing, and we were sitting in the elevator to get today. So thank you all for allowing me to be here. And before I go on and tell you a little bit about myself, which was gracious very much, I wanted to also thank all the folks who put this together here at Forsyth Tech. What you may not know until I tell you a little bit is I am actually tied to Forsyth Tech and the community college system in a unique way. I'll go on a little bit more, but also thank you all for what you did. As a former educator, I was watching the smiles, and I can see the nervousness and the fidgeting, but they did a wonderful job. So thank you all for being here. And I also wanted to thank those who posted the colors from Reagan High. They're probably back there somewhere. And as the father of a Raider myself, I wanted to, put a little shout out for Reagan right quick. Why not? So thank you very much for being here. So how did I get here today? Okay, you're like, why am I speaking to this guy? It was probably Old Dark 30, which many military folks don't know what that means. Someone texted me and said, hey, Nikkei, you want to be the keynote speaker? Like, you sure you got the right guy? Not me. I'm just a buck sergeant who did a couple of business things. I'm a dad, I'm a husband. Thankfully, I'm still married for 23 years. I love her. But I would be remiss if I did not also thank Bernie. Where is Bernie? Thank you, Bernie. Who was instrumental in asking me, along with the folks who support veteran services here at Forsyth Tech, to be the keynote speaker. And I hope that I leave you with a message that inspires you. Maybe we'll see at the end of it. So when I was watching the presentation just now, and I get teary when I said, man, maybe I should have joined that branch of service. Maybe I should have joined the Marine Corps. Okay, no. Because the Marine, and I'm gonna tell you a really funny story about why I never joined the Marine Corps and why I will never join the Marine Corps. So there's a reason. I grew up in Low Country, South Carolina. That should give you what's that? Near Beaufort County. And those of you who served in the Marine Corps know where I'm talking about. You've been to PI, you know PI. I spent 15 years of my life around Marines. And that's why I never joined the Marine Corps. So a little bit, fast forward, and I'll kind of go back and forth a little with this. I came through Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, and I came from a small community, an African village in Sheldon, South Carolina. Don't worry, you never heard of it. And in that community, everybody looked the same. Everybody looked like me. 50, 60 people who did not agree with the outside world and created their own little African village in Sheldon, South Carolina. And that was great. Wonderful. Until my mother and my dad separated, stepfather, excuse me, and I found myself on the outside, and I found myself in the greater United States. And I'd listen to people who did not think like me, who did not look like me, who didn't have beliefs like me. And I thought, oh my God, this is terrible. It's like a fish out of water. So I go from a school that has, and I'm not making this up, 7 people in it. to the largest high school at the time in Charlotte Mecklenburg School. How do you think my grades did? Not very good. Not very good at all. So pay attention to your teacher. F's everywhere, D's everywhere, C's everywhere. And so the Army was gracious enough to say, hey, we'll let you in. I joined the Army Med Corps, wonderful experience. And it was probably because the Air Force's offer wasn't as good as the Army. The Army said to me, you will go and you will spend time in hospitals. You'll be in clinics. You'll have patient interaction. You will be in whites. You'll be in a sanitary environment. How many veterans have heard these kind of stories or these groups? You will never see combat. I went to basic training in Fort Bliss, which is the home of the Air Defense Artillery, 1st Combat Arms. My first duty, I went to San Antonio for, that was the only almost non-combat role I had, was that for Army Med School. My first duty assignment, 466 Armor Battalion, 2nd Combat Arms, no hospital. Third duty assignment, 1st of the 113th Infantry, out of Fort Stewart, 3rd ID, 3rd Infantry, 3rd Combat Arms. In the National Guard, joined 1st of the 113, the old Hickory out of Charlotte. Field Artillery, another Combat Arms. You get the message here? Sometimes God gives you these messages and you're like, I was going pretty good, and it changed and everything like that. So I ended up joining the Army, had a wonderful time. But go back to the grades. My grades weren't that great. A little fishy. So when I got out the military, served in the Gulf War, wonderful people that I learned so many things from while I served in the military. One thing I wanted to do before, let me pause here for a minute. If you're a veteran, I know we all did it by our branches. Would you please stand one more time? Every veteran in the room, stand one more time. And I want to thank you. Thank you all. Now, we know we're here for Veterans Day, but sometimes we forget about this next group of people. If you're a spouse or the child of a veteran, I want you to stand up now. Thank you very much. And if you have no military people in your background at all, but you stand here to support veterans, I want you now to stand up. Thank you very much. Because being a veteran, sometimes we look at the folks in the uniform and we honor their sacrifices. And by the way, I'm gonna call it out real quick, whoever put this one together. Wonderful, thank you very much. That was a great presentation. I got chill bumps. These two Vietnam era veterans back here who I was sitting next to. One in the MP and one in the 11 Bravo series. So thank you, veterans. 4th Infantry, thank you. We pointed out that there was one branch of service that was missing. Who could find it? Space Force. Why were they missing? No, jokes aside. One thing you don't know about Space Force is many of the folks who joined the Space Force were in the Air Force. Some of the folks who joined Space Force were in the Army. They were in other branches, and when the government said, we need to stand up another branch to take beyond the skies, we want to take space for Americans and American beliefs, they stood up. So if you're not, there are not very many of them, and I've only run into, to be honest, one. I ran into a captain. His father happened to be from the Air Force, and I've only run into one Space Force veteran so far. But I wanted to thank those folks who have taken up the challenge of a whole new branch, which has not been seen since the Air Force stepped away from the Army back in '48. That was the last time we had a branch separate. Air Force has separated again and become the Space Force. So special thanks for those who are in Space Force now. Now, all that aside, now let's move back to them. So grades, terrible grades. Back to story. I ended up at Central Piedmont Community College because my grades sucked. They were terrible. So I had to spend about 2 years from 1993 to 1995 taking remedial classes to basically take my last 2 years of high school all over again. Last 2 years. Pay attention to your Don't do that. Don't do what I did unless you just want to take the scenic route. Go right ahead if you want to. I finish school, and I come to Winston-Salem planning to become a physical therapist. Who knew? My grades caught up with me again. They kind of sneak up every now and then. They say, well, you have to wait about a year. And I already knew that I had experience being a massage therapist. So they're like, well, the state of North Carolina is requiring you to have a license now, go to school. So guess where I went to? Forsyth Tech. I was one of the early graduates of the massage program at Forsyth Tech. Before I went to Kernersville, it was stuck over there in an old school, little rooms. People forgot about us, but it was a wonderful experience. And today, our business is a product of Forsyth Tech. Many of our students, many of our staff members come from Forsyth Tech. Many of the folks that we call friends and family come from Forsyth Tech. So I'm integrally connected to both Forsyth Tech and thankful to Central Piedmont for allowing me to make up those grades. So business is about relationships. It's about solving problems and finding ways to help people. How can we do that more effectively? How can we make friends? How can we make profit? All those things. How can we look for problems in our community? And as somebody who, I have no Purple Hearts. Thank you if you have one. I have no medals, medals of honor, Distinguished Service Cross, none of those. I was a sergeant, squad leader. That's it. And I thought to myself, when Bernie said, come do it, I said, I don't have anything to say. I'm just a guy who got lucky. But it took me a couple of whiles with many of us veterans to say, yes, I've actually done a couple of things like Bernie has done, like all the veterans who are here and those who support veterans have done. Your stories are, if not greater than mine, for being right here. You're the right place at the right time to hear this message. You are important. You have divine in you. I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank the children for being here. I want to thank the elders for being here, because it's through what we learn from the elders, what we learn to do better. So as I go back to finding problems, I wrote a really, really goofy book called 52 Ways, the full title is 52 Ways to Fund Your Home Business, even if you're broke, your credit sucks, and all your friends hate you. Designed to get away from all this. If you find it, good luck. It's on Amazon somewhere. But it was a problem I saw. I saw that there were businesses who wanted to start in our community, around the country. I stand before audience and say, you can do this. You can solve a problem. There's a solution out there. Don't let money be the stumbling block. Here's a book. Use some of these. If not mine, use someone else's. Do the things that you're called to do. And you know that you're called to do that because you'll feel it right here. How many of you feel like right here sometime it's like, okay, besides my fat belly, okay. How many of you feel a desire to do something? You don't know what it is sometimes. Raise your hand. Go ahead. You don't know. You're not quite, you haven't got all the pieces. And that's good. Because if you had all the pieces, we wouldn't have to all be here. Because each one of us has a piece of the story. You get it? Every one of us interconnect. I asked my mother for a wife. I know it sounds strange today, doesn't it? Why didn't you just go out like everybody else and date somebody? Because I knew enough about myself that I didn't trust myself. And I asked my mother for help to find a wife. And you know what a good mother did. She's like, oh my God, I got the keys to the golden. You want me to find your wife? Why did I do that? They're thick as thieves now. I'm just joking. gosh. But she's wonderful, and I thank her for that. We are all part of a bigger story. As Americans, as patriots, as students, as elders, for all that we do in this country and what we are here for to do. You don't know that story. There's history in this room. There's history yet to be created. My colleague, Aaron, who is floating around here somewhere, hey, Aaron, who his brother is a veteran. We have another business, which we work in software, which many of the folks have come through Forsyth Tech. I'm telling you, it's all in this room. It's in the community if you only open your eyes and see. In closing, and I don't want to be too long because sometimes you get bored. I'll tell you an interesting story about my youngest son. He's on, by the way, he's suspended today. Well, he probably should have been playing slap boxing in the bathroom. So those of you who know what that is, he shouldn't have been done that, so he's suspended for 1 day for playing slap boxing. Last year, he decided, without any probing from dad or mom, he wants to play soccer. He has never been in a soccer league. He knows very little about soccer at all, except they're supposed to kick the ball some direction. He gets out there, and he kicks the ball. The coach looks at him and says, Janike, your child sucks at this. And to hear that from a coach, I'm a former educator, so I've heard some harsh stuff. He said, your son sucks. And my son would come back. And the funny part about it was he'd always be excited. They benched him every single opportunity they could. They sat him to the side. Did he show up for the game? Yes, he did. Did he show up for practice? Yes, he did. At the end of that season, he said, oh my God, I feel so good. I got to kick the ball in 2 games. Hold on, 2 games? Seriously, dude? And then as a dad, I'm like, got to be a higher bar there, son. This year, he's excited. He goes back into soccer. He knows maybe a year's worth of soccer. Still, he sucks less. He goes in. He starts kicking the ball. He starts getting better. He kicked the ball in the first game. He kicked the ball in the second game. They went through 10 games for the season. He kicked the ball in every game. And he was so happy. He said, I've done better this year than I've done last year. Now, he didn't say I didn't win the game. I didn't score the, slow motion. I played the game with my teammates. That's what he did. He played the game with his teammate. Did he score? No, somebody else's job. That was somebody else's calling to do. His job was to be there for the team. Now, many people would say, this year in their league, thankfully, they won their championship for their particular division. And I thought, that kid taught me another lesson that these kids are teaching you today. Listen to each person because each person has something to give you. Also, understand that you're not always going to be slow motion, all that. Sometimes you're going to be like many of the veterans. We're in the trenches. We're at the MP. We're on vessels. We're not getting dazzled and you don't see our posts on social media. We're doing the job. We're there for the team. We're there for the win. And letting there be no mistake, America, we like a win. And that's why we train our boys and girls and we send them off to win. We lift them up. We educate them. We encourage them to be those folks. So no matter where you are in this world, understand that you're part of a team. You're an American. I'm an immigrant. I married an immigrant. My kids have got a lot of immigrants in their family, but I also have friends and family who were born in this country. These gentlemen were born right here in Winston-Salem, which, by the way, is a rare thing that I've come across in Winston-Salem. To find somebody born and raised in this town is kind of a weird thing to me. I've not run into that many of them. I thank you for the time you've allowed me to share today. I hope I didn't bore you with too much stuff. I hope that today you leave, that you have a place. I love you. I'm honored to be in your presence, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Roach, for sharing with us and for your service to our great country. At this time, I would like to call Ms. Ann Everett to the podium for a special recognition. Let's welcome her at this time.
Hey, everybody. This is a great crowd. It's awesome. And if you've been here before and you've seen me before, probably know what's coming, right? Okay. Today, I have the great privilege of doing something that we get to do every year here, and or at least for the last 5 or 6 years. And it's my distinct honor to present a quilt of valor to one of our employee veterans. And I'm a quilter, and I'm only one woman. I can't make a million of these, but every one that I make is extremely meaningful to me, to those around me. And today I would like to ask Jason Jerkowitz to come up to the podium. So as a little background, you know, the mission of the Quilts of Valor Foundation, and you can look it up online, it's qovf.org, I believe. And it's an organization that strives to cover every service member and veteran with a quilt of valor. And we believe that these quilts are comforting, and it just reminds them of how much we appreciate their service. As of today, there's, I think, over 360,000 quilts that have been made and presented. So Jason, I love you, man. And this guy, in case you didn't know, he is our purchasing manager. And we appreciate his service. And if we open up the quilt and show the front of the quilt, I just want to talk a little bit about why we do these, or at least me. I can't speak for every quilter in the world, but when you look at this quilt, you're going to see that it's constructed using 4 parts. Okay, it's a little quilting training session right now. And there's 4 parts. There's the front, okay, which is called the top. There's the back, which is called the backing. There's the middle, which you can't see. It's the batting in the center of it. And then there's the binding, which goes around the edge. And when we look at the top of the quilt, that front, it's got a lot of different colors and shapes and fabrics. That, to us, it represents our nation. We're made up of a lot of different colors, shapes, sizes. And that represents the fact that all of the individuals and communities in our nation depend on the comfort and the protection of every service member, whether you're a veteran or you're still in active service. We depend on that, okay? The batting in the middle that you can't see, that represents, what keeps the quilt warm. That's the whole point of having a quilt, right? And it represents the support given to you by your family, your friends, the faith communities around you, your colleagues, the Veterans Service Center, right, which provides so much support to our veterans. And that's what that represents. The backing of the quilt provides strength and stability to the other layers. So it represents your strength and bravery, Jason, not only while serving, but it speaks to your inherent personal integrity and your character. And then the final piece that's put on a quilt is the binding, and that's what goes around the edge. And what's interesting is when we quilt that, we want to make sure we make it so that you really can't tell where it starts and ends. It has an angular hidden seam. And that reminds us of the fact that our gratefulness and our gratitude toward all of the veterans in this room, and especially Jason, it reminds you that you can't get to the end of our gratitude. You'll never find the end of our gratitude to you. So it is with absolute pleasure and honor that I present this to you. And thank you. Thank you.
Colors, stand up. Harry, colors. Forward, march. Right turn, march. Colors, halt. Retrieve the colors. Harry, colors. March time, march. Left turn, march. Forward, march.
So good morning. It was supposed to be afternoon, but good morning. Here we go again with that good morning. My name is Sharice Velez. I am the Veterans Counselor. So since we have came to closing of this great occasion, on behalf of our Student Veterans Association, our SVA, our Veterans Resource Center, Bellevue University, Forsyth Tech Foundation, Forsyth Tech Student Life and Engagement, and Mayor Pro Tem Dee Dee Adams. Thank you so much. We would like to thank all of the students, faculty, staff, our special guests for joining us this afternoon. Thank you, Southwest Elementary. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to Reagan High School. And a very special thank you to all our active duty servicemen and women and veterans for all that you do and have done for this great country. Let's give them another round of applause. Woo! So at this time, we will have another moment of reflection as we prepare for our reception. And thank you today for coming and supporting us. And thank you to all our veterans and servicemen and women, military affiliated. Thank you, guys. Our lunch has not got here, listen, but it will be here soon. So we're gonna serve lunch, it's coming. We will have a veterans vendor expo from 12 to 1. I mean, not 12 to 1, from 12 to 2. So there's 26 vendors. Hopefully it's all veteran, everything that you need, it's all veteran resource and focused. So if you need anything, please go hang out, talk to someone, see what if we have what you need. If we don't, we can definitely get what you need and connect you to the right people. Okay. As soon as lunch comes, you guys can hang out with each other. Y'all can hang out with us. But That's the ending. Thank y'all.